Welcome to the fourth module, which is ProSite scan. In the ProSite database, we will be taking the example already known protein and we'll understand what kind of domains it's going to give you. Next, we'll take the example of TLR4 and TLR5. These are two similar proteins, and using those particular schematic that we received from the ProSite, the information on the domain, we'll try to see whether we can detect the differences between these two particular proteins, specifically based on their domains. And as you can understand, you can easily apply this knowledge in your research project and understand similar proteins that you're working with, or any other protein that you're working with. You can compare that protein with the other proteins, and the results you can get from ProSite are easily publishable. So, all right, without any delay, let's start the tutorial. Hello everyone. So in this module, we will be discussing ProSite. I'll explain what ProSite is, how you can use ProSite in your protein research, and what are the benefits and what kind of information you receive by using ProSite scan tool. It's really important when it comes to understanding proteins. ProSite is highly useful. So we'll start with typing ProSite in the Google search tab. You can go through Xpesi. You can go to Xpesi, you can get ProSite from there because it is the tool of Xpesi. You can directly get ProSite by just typing ProSite Xpesi right over here. Hit enter and you will be directed to this particular website. Directly click on that. So something like this will be visible. This is the web page of ProSite. You can see the ProSite logo. This is the home tab. So this is the home tab. Right now we are in the home tab. You have about section about the ProSite. You have contact section where you can contact ProSite people. Before that, let me tell you a little bit about ProSite. You know, what is ProSite? ProSite is curated bioinformatic database of protein domains, families, and functional sites, as well as associated patterns and profiles that is being used to identify proteins. Means the ProSite will have the information of the protein domains, their families, their functional sites. I'll give you the example of, let's say, enzyme, right? Enzyme will have catalytic domain. So any particular catalytic domain, that information, if is available in ProSite, if you give unknown sequence, the ProSite should be able to detect that particular domain if that is present in your query sequence. I hope it makes sense. Maybe when I'll perform the ProSite scan, then you should be able to understand in much better clarity. Okay, so the ProSite is developed by Swiss Institute of Bioinformatics SIB. So it's a part of Xpesi, integrated into Xpesi Bioinformatics portal. So Xpesi Bioinformatics portal will have the ProSite tool, and it is basically based on the manual curated biological knowledge about the protein. Because how we can identify which sequence accounts for this particular domain or families, all that data is being compiled, and now we know that this is the sequence and that is the function of that particular sequence, or that is the domain name of that sequence. So that is how it can detect, if you provide unknown sequence to it. Very useful when it comes to protein research, and you can basically use this particular tool as per your problem. And hopefully if you're working on proteins, I'm sure you're going to use this for various purposes. Now, as you can see over here, it already have a kind of SARS-CoV-2 relevant ProSite motifs. Means it has the database of all the SARS-CoV-2 proteins, and it can identify if that kind of motif is present in your unknown sequence, something like that, right? So ProSite is consists of documentation entries describing protein domains, families, functional sites that I've already explained to you. And then this is really important because it tells you about how many documented entries are there: 1953, 1311 patterns, and 1400 profiles, as well as then 1416 pro rules are also there. So what is a pro rule? A collection of rules based on the profile and patterns. Because of those profiles and patterns, it's going to identify what kind of domain is present in the protein sequence. So it's very essential to understand what kind of domain you have in your protein. So basically, as you can easily understand, that a particular amino acid is that information is not that important unless you know what kind of domain is present in that particular sequence. So how you can use ProSite, I'll show you that. Let's go down, and you can also get a quick scan mode of scan ProSite. So right over here, you can easily start with a particular example. As you can see over here, example is also mentioned. So it's taking the protein ID, and then protein ID example sequence, and you can click right over here and it will start the scan. before that, let me tell you why we use ProCite. So ProCite we use for motif discoveries, means we need to identify conserved regions inside the proteins. Enzyme classification, if you want to classify enzymes. Post-translational modification, it can also predict, and you can also compare the functional sites between two homologs or multiple homologs. Right? So it's very, very important when you study evolutionary relationship between protein sequences. For example, you can take the sequence of lower organism and you can start from lower to higher, and then you can see what kind of changes are happening in those domains, how that sequence getting changed, and what are those residues that are getting changed over the period of time. So it will be very, very nice and detailed evolutionary study of proteins across different organisms. Anyways, these are some of the important features of ProCite. That is why you use ProCite. And there are various things that we have already understood. Now let's start with this example that is being provided by the ProCite website. So we'll click on the scan. Now scan immediately will start. So we are doing ProCite scan. So this was the protein sequence, very large protein sequence. And this is the name of the protein. Enteropeptidase is basically the enzyme that we are taking as an example. And this is the sequence. Now, once you search, what you will get is something like this, which is a ruler that will tell you how many amino acids are there. And then you can see different domains. Look at that. So many different domains are there. That is why probably this example is really good. And you can see different domains are there. And if you just take your mouse and put it on this particular domain, and on the top you can clearly see. Let me move this screen a little bit so that I can see the entire sequence. So if I keep my mouse on the first domain, and I can see the yellow colored highlighted region, so that basically corresponds to this particular region, and this is our domain, SEA. And then next, if I move this, the yellow region is going to move to the specific sequence of amino acid which resembles this particular domain. And then you can see as I move to different domains, my yellow highlight region is also moving pretty nicely. So as you can see, there are different domains are there. Trypsin kind of amino acid domain is also there. It probably is enteropeptidase, so it has those domains that probably trypsin also has. So as you can see, and if you scroll down, the detailed information of all these domains are also mentioned. So as you can see, starting from this, the length of the amino acid, score of this, as well as the sequence of that region, and then domain, what kind of domain is there, and what kind of site is present in that domain. And if you go down, you can actually see everything is mentioned in very much detail. So you get a good idea about your protein. You get a good idea about different domains that are present in this particular protein. So this is something that probably you'll use. So you can right click on this one and save this image, and basically you can save this image and use in your papers. So I've saved it in the download folder, and I can access this from here. And if I click on this one, I can get the entire image of different domains that I can use in my paper. So this is how you can get, and post-translation modifications are also mentioned in this one. It's very complex protein. And that's just an example that we have used. We got 13 hits. So now let's scan the protein which we know very well, because when we know the protein very well, then we also understand what kind of domains it has, and then it's easy to also explain things. So for that, I'll be going to UniProt. That is why I already told you multiple times that you're going to use UniProt a lot, because you need a faster sequence, and you can get these sequences very, very easily from UniProt. So what I can do is I can get the TLR4. This is one of the protein which is present in our cells that can detect lipopolysaccharide of the bacteria. So I'm going to get the sequence of that FASTA sequence, and I've downloaded this, and I can basically open that file, and this entire sequence, I'm going to copy this. I've copied the entire sequence. I'm going to go to the ProCite, and I'm going to paste right over here. You can also put the name. Let's put the name TLR4 over here, and then scan. So it will take some time. ProCite basically now scanning the entire sequence. All right, so very quickly it gave me output result of my scan. As you can see, I have found 13 hit in my sequence, that is one sequence that I provided. You can provide multiple sequences and then compare the results. So here you can see this is the sequence TLR4 amino acid sequence. We have 839 amino acids, and right over here this ruler will tell you how many amino acids you have, and you have 839 amino acids. TIR is the domain, and you can see it's highlighted over here, TIR domain, and then you have LRR, which are leucine rich repeats. So you have a lot of leucine present in this region, and you can see there are a lot of leucine rich domains that are present. There is, I think, another domain which is ProCAR domain, lipoprotein domain, that is also present on the top. So this is really important information, and I also have one post-translation modification over here in this particular domain. And for this, we need to see the structure of TLR protein. TLR4 protein. So this is TLR4 protein from humans. So as you can see over here, let's look at the structure. And if I type LRR domains, so probably those are the domains that we have seen, leucine rich repeats. And if I click on the images, so you can actually see where these leucine rich repeats are, and as you can see over here, this also tells you that you have a lot of leucine rich repeats in this region. So this is the structure of toll-like receptor, where you have a domain structure, extracellular domain, which is like this, where you have a lot of leucine rich repeats, and then you have TIR domain over here, and you can see in all these structures very, very easily, right? So okay, so now let's go back to our ProCyte results. So as you can see over here in TLR4, these many leucine rich repeats you have, and these are the sequences, and you can actually see leucine rich repeat sequences right over here, very, very short sequences. Then you have for the TIR domain. And now similarly, you can actually look for TLR5. I'm just telling you a small research case so that you can understand what's going on in here. This is from Homo sapiens. So let's take the sequence from the Homo sapiens. I mean, you'll get these toll-like receptors, and they are present in a lot of different organisms, right? So you can take these and compare all of them with humans. That could be another study, and you can see how the primitive toll-like receptors, they got changed in humans, what kind of mutations are there, what kind of sequence variability is there. Anyways, so right over here, I don't want to go into this one. I just want the FASTA sequence. So I'll just get the FASTA sequence from here. When I get the FASTA sequence, I'll copy this sequence quickly, and then I want to keep this result, so I'll just duplicate the tab. I'll go back and then paste the TLR5, and then just quickly start the scan. All I'm saying is you can do the scan of different proteins, and because of that, you will get various kind of domain information. So as you can see, what we are expecting over here, we have TLR5. Probably it's very, very similar to TLR4, and there is a slight difference in the amino acid sequence, and you can see over here. So look at that, it has more leucine rich repeats as compared to the TLR4. If I go back to this, as you can see, you have lesser leucine rich repeats, and they are also distributed in a very, very grouped way. But over here, you have more leucine rich repeats like this, and then few are on the top, but they are more distributed on the top region, right? So that information is pretty unique, and you can compare that information with humans and understand various toll-like receptor, because in case of humans we have 10, and we have more than 10 in case of mouse. So, and these are really important for our immune system, and we can understand the toll-like receptor biology by understanding their protein domains, right? So this could be a very interesting small project that you can do and compare it. We have done these kind of projects. They also got published, and they are really, really good project where you're diving deep into the understanding of protein domains and their families. This is just one quick example that I want to give you, and you can save this information, and you can copy this information, save it in a Word document file. Probably what you want is this image with that, and then compare all the toll-like receptors. You can just save this image and also the second image for different toll-like receptor, and show the comparative structural arrangement of different leucine rich repeats, right? So this is really important, and that you understand what kind of protein you are working with, what is your problem. That should be defined, because these tools are going to give you information. So if you are looking for information which is more organized, which is pointing in the right direction, you are going to end up with a good research project and good research results. If you are not focused and you're just randomly selecting non-relevant proteins, collecting their information, that's just information. There is no science behind it. So you need to know what kind of research problem you're working with and how you can basically use these results to answer those scientific questions. There is some information in the form of documents that is also available. Manual is available, so you can read all these manuals in detail if you want to go in more detailed understanding of ProCite. You have SARS-CoV-2 relevant motifs if you want to do research in SARS-CoV-2, which is also very, very important when it comes to bioinformatics, because you cannot, it's very difficult to handle viruses, but we have computational power. So it's very easy for us to do, computational biology with these viruses, right? All right, so I think let's conclude over here, and I want you to complete the quiz associated with the module. Thank you so much for completing the course. Thank you so much for your support. I hope now you have better understanding of all these 4 databases. You are going to frequently use UniProt. You will definitely be using Swiss model. If you are a protein researcher, you will be using all other databases, Swiss model, string, you will be using ProCite all the time. And when you use these databases frequently, then your mind works in a way that somehow you just relate your project and see how you can use these databases to answer specific scientific questions. So I hope now you have a better understanding of all these databases. And when you complete the course quiz, you should be able to get the certificate, and that you can highlight in your social media, that you can highlight in your CV, because all the courses that we create are highly specific and specialized courses provided by highly qualified faculty members. And if you highlight these courses in your CV, this is going to make a huge impact. All right, so I'll be bringing more courses, similar courses on different topics. Please stay tuned and show your support. Thank you so much for taking this particular course again. I'll meet you in the another course. Till then, take care.